The cable machine is a popular piece of equipment in most gyms. It's a great alternative to free weights or other machines. Most cable machines, or as we like to commonly refer it to as cables, are actually set up bilaterally. So in the instance of the example of the exercise I'm about to use, we're just going to use it from a unilateral perspective. Cable machines are a great way of challenging, again, strength, but also stability and balance. Let's look at some of the key features of the cable. One of the best features is that the cable, the pulley height, is fully adjustable, so it can come down from a really low position up to a really high position. Ordinarily, the way you change this is by simply just pulling on the pin and then sliding it to the corresponding height of the exercise that you're about to do. So I'll show you. So for the lunge row exercise that I'm about to demonstrate, I need to have the pulley just slightly lower than my shoulder height. This particular exercise that I'm going to demonstrate is considered a unilateral exercise, in that we only use the one side of the cable. Sometimes there'll be exercises that require both sides, or bilateral exercises. So it's just important to note that when you're using both sides of the cable, make sure that both of the pulleys are equal and that the weight stacks are also set to the same weight on both sides. Due to the nature of the way that the pulley system is actually set up, the cable machine is a great way of challenging your stability and your balance and your strength. Anytime you do anything off the cable machine, the cable's wanting to pull you back to its original position, so it's great for working on that eccentric control. The lunge row is a fabulous compound exercise which works both the legs and the upper body at the same time. Let me demonstrate the finished product for you. So from a setup purpose, just make sure that the cable is set slightly lower than shoulder level. You need to take the tension of the cable and step away from the cable machine. And it's important that you've got a little bit of distance there first so that you don't run back into the weight stack. The finished product is going to look like this. Start up nice and tall, connect your ribs and your hips, so tight tummy, lift up tall through your spine, weight evenly distributed between either leg, and I just want you to drop. And as you stand up, you're going to make a pull motion with your hand. So this is considered a contralateral exercise. So it's my left leg, right arm working simultaneously. Drop and pull. That's the lunge row. The lunge row can be quite a complicated move to try and teach all in one hit. So what I'm going to do is show you how to break that down or regress it back into its simplest forms. Now we're going to look at the 4 components that go into the big lunge row exercise. So phase 1 of teaching this is to get the lunge pattern correct. This is how we do it. So first of all, just remind yourself and of your client that it's contralateral. Right hand equals left leg forward. We do phase 1, lunge first. Importantly, just make sure that they can set their scapula back and hold. Tummy on nice and tight. Weight evenly distributed between both feet, and a simple lunge pattern. So just make sure that you're confident that your client can do this first. Once you're happy with that, we add the second layer, which is just focusing on the lunge phase. So just making sure they can hold that and then that they can pull through onto the row phase. And as they're doing this, the rest of their body is stable and still. So the only thing moving is literally the elbows as it shaves past the ribs. Now, the third layer as we go into that full exercise that I demonstrated earlier. So it's the full squat, lunge. At this point, weight is still evenly distributed between my foot, front foot and back foot. Making sure they keep their eyes forward. Good. Last but not least, now that they can do that, we subtly shift their weight. So this makes it a little bit harder because it requires more strength and more stability on that front leg. So from here, I now go forward. So what's happened here is that my left leg is now loaded with all of my weight. Makes it harder on that left side. So we just go drop and pull. You can see the subtle difference. As I drop forward, there's a bit more forward progression. I'm a bit more loaded onto that leg. and then we just pop that away. And that's your 4 layering system to go to the lunge row.